Hi guys, and welcome to my video. In today's video, we will be covering a few simple ways in which you can become a better teammate in PvE activities. This goes for both lower tier and endgame content. The hardest part in Destiny is finding teams to do endgame activities with, and then finding a way to synergize with those teammates. So many raid groups and nightfalls end because people can't find a way to work together. This is why today we will be going over everything you need to know to be a better teammate and to make these activities end with a completion and successful. The first tip I'm going to have for you is to watch videos. Whether you're going into a raid or a nightfall, watch someone clear the nightfall on a tough difficulty. Watch some day one footage from the raid. This content usually won't be very clean and perfected yet, so you can see people struggle. I prefer to see runs where people are making mistakes, as it gives me a good sense of what I might do and what I definitely should not do. Another note is that I usually watch exactly where people stand when approaching encounters. Usually they didn't come by that spot randomly. Chances are it offers some good cover or view of the room. This especially applies to boss encounters in raids or nightfalls. This first tip will give you a good sense of the activity you're going into and exactly how to approach it. This will be very big in keeping you from holding your team back. The second tip I have for you is to build a loadout that has synergy. Usually this means making sure you have a primary and a special to clear adds and challenging enemies, and then a heavy weapon to deal with champions and bosses. Some of these loadout suggestions are a Wither Horde with an Ikelos SMG and a Fallen Guillotine in the heavy slot, an Anarchy first and last out, and a Breachlight or any other like SMG or sidearm in the kinetic spot. And you could also use double auto-loading heavy and special weapons. So for instance, an interference grenade launcher as well as an auto-loading shotgun or slug shotgun. And you can switch back and forth between the two weapons, and they should reload themselves before you get back to the other weapon. This means you can keep up sustained burst DPS, which can also lead to really high damage in longer damage phases. Having loadouts that work are crucial in any activity, and setting yourself up correctly will make a big difference in your survivability and damage output. For the third tip, we're going to go over how to understand and maximize your loadout to its fullest potential. For example, when using Wither Horde and a weapon that creates Warmind cells, which are hands down the best ad clear mods in the game, you should know that if you kill something with your Wither Horde but you switch to your Warmind cell before it actually dies, it will count towards your primary weapon kills and have potential to create Warmind cells, which is going to help you clear ads better. I believe Anarchy has the same effect. Also, don't forget how to put in good damage with your loadout. Your Anarchy Slug combo only has good damage if you remember to refresh your Anarchy every 10 seconds, and that you only have to tag the boss twice before switching to your special weapon for damage. This includes having easy and simple keybinds. I've seen some people use the numbers at the top of their keyboard to switch weapons, but they aren't fast enough, and as a result it takes them too long to rotate through weapons to have optimal damage. Personally, I use scroll wheel up for kinetic, scroll wheel down for energy, and scroll wheel press for heavy. For something that I use as frequently as weapon swapping, I really don't like moving my fingers. Understanding exactly how your loadout functions will keep you from having low damage numbers and help you get through encounters quicker and with less damage phases. This lowers your potential for wiping and letting your teammates down. For our fourth tip, it's going to be to learn roles other players do not want to do, and volunteer to be the supporting character, meaning you will play Bubble Titan or Well of Radiance with Divinity, or any other loadout that will maximize your team's survivability and damage. For learning roles, this means being confident playing Operator, Scanner, or Suppressor in the new Deepstone Crypt raid, and picking up whatever role your fire team needs to fill. This will make you invaluable to your team, as well as increase your success rate. I've already been on some raid teams where nobody wants to be Scanner during the Atrax encounter. Understanding that role and taking over for your fire team will keep you from wiping countless of times, and your fire team will thank you as a result. Start picking up on what the hardest thing to do is in the raid, then learn that role and position. This will make you invaluable to any team as you can jump in and take over for what people can't do well. Our fifth and final tip will be to take the initiative. Regardless of strikes or nightfalls or raids, always be willing to initiate the encounter. Take the elemental shield off of the boss, stagger the champion, or have your anti-barrier ready. Before learning this for myself, there were so many Nightfall runs where the guy with anti-barrier just wasn't ready yet, so all that burst damage I put in with Xeno meant nothing because the champion got its health back. Instead today, I put in some damage, swap to my primary weapon, and get ready to stagger or disrupt the champion. For another example, in the Deep Stone Crypt raid, during the final 2 encounters, I do not wait for someone to grab one of the bombs. I just pick them up, and if my teammate needs it, I can hand it off to him once it's off the floor. This may be a bit of a negative outlook on teammates, but the bottom line is people make mistakes. The way to avoid those mistakes, being critical, is just become a better and more aware individual player. Don't assume that your teammates will do everything perfectly, and be ready for when they don't. This doesn't mean blame them if they make a mistake, because you will make plenty of mistakes of your own. Hopefully, there will be a good teammate around to cover you when that happens. Anyway guys, that's all for today's video. If you liked what you saw, feel free to subscribe or leave a like. Comment if there was something I left out about being a better fire team member. Any support goes a long way. If there's any content you would like me to cover in the future, please let me know. I'm going to let the rest of the Nightfall footage play out. I do get an exotic at the end. Enjoy.